What's going on, y'all? It is back day today, so you know that's gonna be a fun day. Chest and biceps, that's all fun too. But chest and triceps, or back and triceps, that's a fun day in my opinion. I love back day. That's probably my favorite day. And then along with triceps, which I'm gonna try a new tricep workout. It's gonna be a D-handle, kind of new form, a way of doing it. Just like lean into it more. You guys will see it when we're at the gym. I'll explain it in the video, obviously. And then hamstrings and glutes. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do today. I think I might. I'll probably definitely do my trap bar deadlift because I've been doing that for a little bit and I love them. And I just got to get in the mindset of doing it. I kind of forgot about I was doing those today, and I didn't get in the mindset of it. So something when you're going, like doing a PR or something that takes a lot more energy and fatigue out of you, you need to mentally prepare for that more than just your regular back day with some rowing, pull downs, bicep curls, tricep extensions, stuff like that. When it comes to doing heavy compounds or heavy movements, if you're not mentally preparing for those lifts, even before the gym, you're not going to do as well as you want to, unfortunately. The reality of that is it sucks. But the reality is, if you do get mentally locked in if you get mentally prepared, that lift is awesome. It's so fun. So we're going to just kind of see what the plan is today, but I think that's going to be a part of the agenda. My back does hurt a little bit, so I'm not entirely sure if we're going to be doing those today or if we're going to do them heavy. Might just do them like semi-heavy, so like 315 walks. I'm not really sure because I don't want to be PRing or anything every week, so I might just go down to like 315. Hold it for a while, get more of a squeeze up in the upper traps, whatnot. We'll see. But yeah, man. So, and your whole purpose with the gym isn't the PR every week. Sometimes going a little bit down in weight, maybe getting better form, filling the muscles that you're doing a little bit more is sometimes even better because you're still improving, right? Even though the weights might not go up every week, your form might get a little bit better. You might squeeze for an extra couple seconds or milliseconds, whatever it may be. But if you're in the gym, I believe that you're always improving in some type of category. It may not be the most obvious thing in the world ever, but personally, I think if you're in there 3 or 4 days consistently, at least 5, 6 if you really want to, maybe even 2 days, at least 2 days consistently, I believe you genuinely are going to make progress every lift, right? And like I said, even if it's very small, like even if you got one less rep this time than you did last time on something, like let's say you did a bicep curl of some sort and you were just like, man, I got 8 reps of 40 pounds this time, and last time I got them for 9 or 10 even. How do you know that you didn't maybe squeeze more or control a little better this time? That's why I think you should record at least one set, like your first set or your last set, a part of a lift. And I know everybody, not everybody wants to record, especially because some people are just insecure. Some people don't like to record their workouts, or they feel like there's no purpose. But I do believe recording does have like actual beneficial things outside of just me doing YouTube or something, right? I can check my form if I want to see if it's actually good or not. I can fix things. But when it comes to just this though, I genuinely believe that you are just improving every time you go into the gym. Like I said, whether that may be very small or very big, because sometimes you'll really notice a strength boost, or sometimes you'll feel like you got weaker or something that day, or you're a little bit more fatigued. Now, there is some circumstances where if you are stuck on a weight or something for like 3 or 4 or 5 weeks, then I would potentially maybe do a deload day or something different. Maybe just do a different exercise, or maybe just skip out on doing that muscle group entirely. Like if it's something with your upper chest, like for my instance, I had to take a deload day on my incline dumbbell bench, and then I got an extra rep my next chest day. And essentially I was just tiring out the joints and whatnot, but let's just say I still want to hit chest hard, but I, maybe I would either, one, just maybe hit a fly for my upper pec, or two, just completely skip out an upper chest. That's not to say don't like skip like legs every time because it's like, oh, I really want to recover. No, you just want to skip legs. So be smart with your training. Don't think too hard about it though. If you think that you need a day off of something like a deload day, or just maybe you just need to just rest on it because you're maybe still really sore or whatever, not, don't overthink it, man. Just go with your gut a lot of times, you know. But if you think that you're genuinely fine and, you know, let's just say you didn't do good this set, or maybe that workout, you're like, okay, I'm not going to take a deload, but if I do the same, maybe even worse, or just only a tiny bit better next week, I'll take a deload, right? But like I said, be smart with your training. A lot of times for bodybuilders, we don't need deloads a whole lot because we're not doing 1 rep maxes. It's a 7-10 rep type of system, sometimes 5 if we go too heavy. But, you know, just be smart with your training, y'all. There's nothing much more to it, you know, and just have fun, most importantly. You know, have fun doing the things you want to do. So if you like training 30 plus reps, by all means, train 30 plus reps. But with that being said, y'all, I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm not going to yap. And I'll see you guys in the gym. All right, first movement of the day is going to be a barbell row. This is the lifestyle movement. So essentially, you're just going to be hitting a lot of muscle groups, and this helps you with your pulling strength and just overall getting your nervous system and lower back all healed, or not healed, but basically used to heavy movements, bent over. Train to failure for 2 sets, y'all.
Okay.
Moving along now, we have 2 different grips for a lat pull down, but we're going to be doing 2 sets total. This long grip focuses more on teres major and more lower lats, and you know, you're going to be focused on the whole lat when you're doing these, but this is going to be, like I said, focusing on teres major, a little bit of mid back, and lower lats. Just train to failure, y'all, for 1 set for these, and I'll explain the other movement. So here, obviously going to notice the difference automatically, which is just having my hands in a little bit more. And this is going to be focused more on the lower traps, mid traps, and more of a upper lat, you know, activation. So just overall a different movement. And I like to hit both in the same day just because, you know, you're hitting a little bit different muscle groups, but essentially you're going to just be mainly hitting lats. So train to failure. Moving along now to the triceps, we're going to be training 1 set to failure, and I like to lean into it and then also make sure my arm is at the same kind of like angle as my side is, if that makes sense. So you're basically, your body is in one direction pretty much. We're going to just be training 1 set till failure, and at the end when we can't do these versions, we're going to just kind of stand straight up and then bang out a few more reps as well, which you'll see in the end here in a second. Now moving along to the final movement of the day, we have a hamstring curl for 1 all-out set to failure. Make sure we're exploding on the way up, going slow on the way down to get a good contraction and a good stretch. Make sure you're going all the way down too, like I said, for the best stretch possible, and squeeze as hard as you can on the way up. Make sure you're not swinging the weight up to use your lower back at all either. Train 1 set to all-out failure once again. Oh. No. Woo! What is going on, y'all? So, I had to kind of speed up the workout because I kind of didn't realize what time it was, and we're going up to see my friend's new baby yet. I know, crazy. I'm not going to share too much information about that. But yeah, homeboy just had a baby, so I'm going to go see the hospital and see the baby and stuff, so give him a little support and whatnot. So, very happy for those guys. Guy and girl. Don't get it twisted. 2 men didn't have a baby. Now, workout. I think I had Gatorade on myself. I just chugged a red Gatorade for post-workout carbs, because that's what you need in this world. You need post-workout carbs, right? You need carbs are the most essential thing ever, man. Speaking of that, post-workout carbs, intra carbs, and pre-workout carbs. Most important carbs throughout your day, right? You don't need to like slap 5,000 grams of carbs a day, or like 5,000 grams of carbs after your workout, but a quick little sip of a Gatorade, right? That's like 5-10 carbs right there. Dog, that's all you need. And then, you know, obviously protein and stuff, but like, you know, don't worry about it too much. But get your carbs in, you know, right? I'd say 60 to 80, maybe 60, 50 to like 70 grams of pre-workout carbs. And then you need about, how much is this? 36 total. So about 15 to 25 to 30-ish, so 15 to 30, 28, you know, carbs during your workout. And then a quick 10, 15, 20 right after your workout. And then you're golden. And, you know, get your carbs in the rest of the day, get your protein in. You know, your fat should be low. How your macros should go is 0.7 to 1.1 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Fats, keep it about 0.2 to 0.4 grams of fat per pound of body weight, and then fill the rest with carbs. That's really it, you know? Like, everybody thinks that you need 250 grams of protein when you're only 5'7", 180 pounds, or whatever you may be. Like, you don't need that much protein. Like, it's absurd what we used to think, right? Like, I know my stepbrother, you know, when I was like trying to bulk up for basketball, when I was like very first beginning going to the gym, kind of, barely, not even, but he told me to bulk up using like pop and Pepsi and stuff. And like, yeah, you're getting carbs, but it's like, you know, there's so many different better ways of getting carbs. And like, just the way that you first learn to like go to the gym compared to when you're like 4 years deep, so much more information that you're learning, so much wrong information that you were told. We were told like, oh, just make sure you're getting as much carbs as you can before a workout, or make sure you don't eat before a workout, or make sure you're eating protein before a workout, and only protein. You know, make sure you're getting, you know, all that kind of stuff. You know, don't really care about all the other, you know, BS. As a little emergency, they're gonna see come by. But yeah, you get so much misinformation. Even like if you just scroll on Instagram and you're just a guy who's been going to the gym for like 3.5, 4 years plus, whatever, you'll still see misinformation that you would have maybe thought was right a year in, 6 months into the gym, and it's completely wrong. Like some of the exercise choices, like landmine press, maybe you would have thought that's for your upper chest, but that's for your shoulders. Like, remember when we thought that, I didn't really think it, because I'm lucky early on, I heard it only hits the shoulders, but if you've ever seen anybody do standing plate presses, where they grab the plate with 2 hands like this, and then they press it forward, and everyone was like, oh, it's for the middle of your chest. Just babbling misinformation after misinformation, and people don't get, like, accounted for it. They just get let go, and it's like, okay, well, you just taught 2,000 people that barely go to the gym or just started the gym misinformation, and they're going to go try and look like a goofball, and they're going to be like, wow, I don't really feel this in my chest at all, you know? Even like very experienced people who have a lot of good information, like Sam Sulik, I don't know if he was doing it just for the pump, but the dumbbell like fly things where you go like this, yeah, you feel it in your chest, but that's just all shoulders. because the gravity of force and where it's laying is in your palm right here, versus like a fly, like it's all in your shoulders, maybe some in your upper chest, but like just do pec flies, dog, seriously. With that being said, y'all, I got nothing much more to say. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of get going, leave this here for you guys. I will see you guys on Tuesday for another chest day. So bye bye.